Hello, guys, and this is Blue to Fortunes here, and welcome to another video. And today I'm going to show you some of the new puppets that I got during Christmas, and you may see some of them by yesterday's Bunny Show by the yesterday's Bunny Show program. But I'm just going to show it in full and Bernie's Christmas presents, but doesn't have any much information. But here we go with the new puppets that I got during Christmas. So the first one that I got is Joe, as in J-O, not Joe, not Joe the baby, not named after Joe the baby. It's J-O, as in Joe, and he's a dummy like Christopher and Danny, but yeah, he's a dummy like Christopher and Danny, and he's one of the cousins as well, or not a cousin but a new member or friend of us. And unlike Christopher and Danny, his high, and unlike Christopher and Danny, his eyes can slightly move with his somewhat googly eyes, and his eyes are not that googly, but it's all similar, and although his mouth does move. He does make a squeaky noise whenever I let him speak with his mouth. You can take a look inside of his mouth. There's a one piece where the mouth is screwed in, and this is where you control him. And this is where you control him for his mouth. Use the pull and strike gear to let him move his mouth. Here's how it goes behind the scenes. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's Joe, as in J-O. And now let's go on to the rest of the puppets. And here it is, the other Punch and the other Judy puppet. But like someone got me a question, and I said, why do I bring another Punch and Judy puppets? Yeah, you just don't understand for some reason. Yeah, you don't understand, and I don't understand either why I got another these two Punch and Judy puppets. But even though they look quite different and smaller compared to the other Punch and Judy puppets, you can see them up there. You can only see Judy. I don't know about Punch, but and they're like wobbly things that one of the regular shows that used to perform. And Punch and Judy, yeah, they does look different compared to the other ones, but for some reason I named this Punch as Grant Punch, and he used to work as a pirate because his cap is somewhat a pirate thing type. And Judy, on the other hand, is like, I think I call her Nan Judy. And like Judy, Nan Judy just calls Grant Punch as darling. Yeah. Because, they're the original Punch and Judy just before the other Punch and Judy take over. Even though they are old, and these guys are also somewhat very old. Punch is like 108, and Nan Judy is like 102. So they didn't even die just yet, or never did die, but whatever. So there's Grant Punch and Nan Judy, and then there's a big brother of David the policeman. It is the Scottish roadman named Dave, and it's just unlike David, Dave has the mustache, a ginger mustache and a ginger eyebrow. because he's somewhat the ginger hair-like type. I don't know if it's ginger or quite brownish, but I don't know. And he's got a different policeman cap, which is blue, unlike David's, and he's got a different top on it. And like Grant Punch and unlike Nan Judy, his arms is quite posable and all done. Let me see if I can perform the puppet real quick. I don't know if my hand's going to move that far. I forget. I want to show you how it goes, but I do move like this, like these two guys are over there. So that's Dave. And then we have to go. And then there was a puppet called the Devil, aka Satan. And I don't know why I call him Satan, because he looks like Satan a bit, but he's got horns, a very wet face, and he's got that demonic look because he's evil. And although his hands aren't quite red, they were like orange and pink, and yeah, there's a bit there that you can move his hand, and yeah, so that's the devil. So that's Satan, aka the devil. And then we got Nilma's bitch, aka Nilma's poop. His name is like his characteristics is like a parody of Nilma's Muffet, but I call her Nilma's bitch and or Nilma's poop. I don't even call her Nilma's plonk because that's a nil bit sexist, but I call her Nilma's bitch and Nilma's poop because to make her name a bit more funnier. Anyway, there's Nilma's poople bitch. There's blonde hair. There's a blonde style of hair. There's his crown jewel. That got a gallet's top on it. Luminous hands. And that's it. So that's Nilma's Muffet, or not Nilma's Muffet, but Nilma's bitch, or Nilma's poop. Yeah, Nilma's bitch, or Nilma's poop. Okay, so next one it's gonna be Claire, aka it's gonna be Chloe Claire. Yeah, his name is Chloe Claire, but his first name is gonna be Chloe. I originally going to call him Claire, but I guess I'd go in with Chloe, because Chloe is more of the bear name than Claire, but I use Claire as the last name of Chloe, so that's Chloe. And there's the backside. He's got a bow of long hair. His hair can wiggle like that, and posable hands, posable feet. And even though his top is kind of falling out, because for some reason they didn't even decide to fix it, but yeah, I might use this for comedic purposes for some reason if her tops ended up falling out, but glad there's no private parts in it, because YouTube hated it for some reason, and its mouth is quite barely movable, but that's just what it is. You can see a piece of mouth sticking in it. So yeah, so that's Chloe. That's Chloe. And the final one is going to be Sooty, the good old Sooty and Sweep. Yeah, the good old Sooty and Sweep. And not so, because I didn't even quote her yet, because that's Sooty and Sweep. Anyway, let's look out at Sooty first. So Sooty is this version of Sooty looks a little bit different. Looks much different compared to the one it used today for ITV. And this is the original. And this is what. And this is one of the versions of Sooty puppet that was made for that was made by the BBC for their own version of Sooty Show. It was before ITV took over. And this is one of those puppets that was disliked by the BBC, and that's one of the puppets that didn't like to use because they already used the actual Harry Corbett one, so they got sent. So this Sooty puppet got sent over to Room 101, and Chris Talent. And as I could remember, Chris Talent wanted to destroy this Sooty puppet, but he came fine quite well. And when he came back after Room 101, he's a little fragile, but he's a bit fragile as you can tell when I first got him. And yeah, so that's Sooty. That's one of the rejected Sooty puppets from the BBC, and as you can look at him, you can see some quite of a slight of the recognizable face, although he looks different, and he's got a darker yellow skin compared to the newer one, and there's his head, and there's his back, opposable arms. Let me see if I could try out Sooty move. We'll try out what Sooty move. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that's Sooty, and he's a little bit in a good condition despite the messiness, and he can wave, he can think, and although his movement looks a bit wonky at times, but he looks fine. He looks fine despite there's a bit messy and fragile, and little fragile he is, but yeah, that's Sooty. And the difference is between the real Sooty and this Sooty is that my Sooty can talk. Yeah, I know it's surprising, but yeah, this Sooty can speak compared to the original Sooty, and yeah. That's definitely a reason why this Sooty can talk unlike other Sooties. And then we can go to Sweep right now. And Sweep is like not one of the rejected puppets made by the BBC, but I think that's one of the early. I think that was one of the early merchandising of Sooty, which is Sweep, and it's got a bit of floppy ears, and he can speak, and like my Sooty person, and his hands are postable. He's got a bit wet nose and the back, and although his eyes looks like it's covered up by fur, let me fix his eyes real quick, and the other side. Okay, so I fixed the Sweep puppet, and he looks a little bit different compared to the Sooty, to the Sweep today, and yeah, he looks a little more different than Sooty because his eyes and eyebrows looks a little upper, although his mouth, and you can barely notice his mouth because it's covered up by his fur, but so that's Sweep, and you can see how Sweep works to perform him. Okay, that's Sweep, and his head looks a little bit not looks too much wonky compared to Sooty, and although his movements, wave, think, and all other stuff that he can do. And despite he was speaking in normal voice, he has the squeaky tone in it that sounds like this. But although that noise can be heard for the dog, that ends up disturbing for this puppet. So you have to be very careful. So you have to be careful while doing that noise, because otherwise the dog can hear it. And here is the colored thing where the squeaky noise has been performed at. So yeah, so that's Sweep. And it looks like we have come to the end of the new puppets that some of the new puppets that I got, well, during Christmas. And there's a tag there that I forgot to show that has Welcome Trust in it on his foot instead of a tag on Chloe. And that's the end of, and that's definitely the end of some of the new puppets that I got, like, during Christmas. And I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Blue the Fortune for more videos like this, and possibly I'll see you guys in the next video, or tomorrow or something, I don't know. So peace out, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye for now.